Hello again to another Agricolor React, and today is the 31st of October, and that means it's Halloween. So instead of watching stuff about just pure Halloweeny, we're gonna look how Halloween, or not how, but what kind of Halloween-like holidays are around the world, and it's from the Mythos the Historian. And I haven't really watched anything from that channel, so we're gonna see something new, I guess. So we'll just watch.
Hello everybody! While Halloween reigns as a cherished and widely recognised holiday in the Western world, it's not unique. Join us as we delve into similar and interesting celebrations found across the globe. So, let's begin. Walpurgis Night. Walpurgis Night, celebrated on the night of April 30th and extending into May the 1st, is a festive occasion observed in multiple northern and central European countries, including Germany, Sweden, Finland, and others. This holiday has dual origins, Christian and pagan. Named after Saint Walpurga, a Christian missionary canonised as a saint in the 8th century, it coincides with her feast day on May the 1st in some regions. However, its pagan roots are more prominent. In pagan traditions, Walpurgis Night marks the arrival of spring and the celebration of fertility. It is believed to be a time when witches and supernatural beings gather to revel and perform magical rituals, thus necessitating the lighting of bonfires to ward them off. This tradition is a fusion of Christian and pagan elements, resulting in a celebration where people light bonfires, don costumes, often as witches or mythological creatures, raise maypoles and engage in music and entertainment. It's often considered analogous to Halloween, with a focus on dressing up and a hint of the supernatural. Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is celebrated primarily in Mexico on November the 1st and 2nd. On the day in Mexico, people often dress in traditional and elaborate costumes and makeup to celebrate and honour their deceased loved ones. Many people paint their faces to resemble sugar skulls or calaveras. These intricate and colourful skull designs are a significant part of the Dia de los Muertos tradition and are meant to celebrate the lives of the departed. The makeup typically includes vibrant colours, floral patterns, and decorative details. This tradition has ancient indigenous roots, notably from the Aztecs, dating back centuries. When Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, they merged these indigenous customs with Catholicism, resulting in the modern Dia de los Muertos. The holiday serves as a vibrant commemoration of deceased loved ones. Families create ofrendas, altars, adorned with photos, favourite foods and mementos, believing these offerings guide spirits back for a visit. Sugar skulls, marigold flowers, and pan de muerto, a sweetbread, are iconic elements. Calacas, or skeleton figurines, and Catrinas, or elegant skeletons, are also common. Candlelit processions and music often accompany visits to cemeteries. Samhain. Samhain is a historic festival celebrated in several countries, particularly in Celtic regions. It falls on October 31st and marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. Samhain is known for its deep pagan and Celtic.
Isn't Samhain the actual predecessor for Halloween? Doesn't Halloween actually comes from like Celtic world?
Roots dating back over 2,000 years. The festival is celebrated to honour the dead and to welcome the darker half of the year as the days grow shorter and colder. It is a time when the veil between the living and the spirit world is believed to be thin, allowing for easier communication with the deceased. Bonfires were traditionally lit to ward off evil spirits and offer protection during this transition. Over time, many of Samhain's traditions and beliefs have been integrated into modern Halloween customs, such as costumes and jack-o'-lanterns. Today, people in Celtic regions and neo-pagan communities often celebrate Samhain with various rituals and festivities, paying homage to its historical and spiritual significance. Obon. Obon, also known as Bon Festival, is a traditional Japanese Buddhist holiday celebrated in Japan and by Japanese communities worldwide. It usually takes place in mid-July in some regions and mid-August in others, depending on the local calendar. The exact day can vary, but it typically lasts for about 3 days. Obon is a time for Japanese people to honour the spirits of their ancestors. According to Buddhist beliefs, during this period the spirits of the deceased return to the world of the living to visit their living relatives. Lanterns are lit to guide these spirits, and altars are set up in homes to welcome them. The festival's history traces back over 500 years, with its roots in Japanese Buddhist tradition. The origin is attributed to a disciple of Buddha who used his spiritual powers to see his deceased mother and provide her with the necessary rituals.
Make meals. Well, so far it's kind of interesting how that's going, or a lot of them are kind of like similar in the way how it's celebrated. Not all of it. It's for the same way of what is celebrated. Like the first one was just more about celebration of the spring coming back. So, yeah. Coffee.
Obon is marked by various customs, including Bon dances, where people gather to dance and celebrate. It's also a time for families to reunite and visit the graves of their ancestors, cleaning and decorating the burial sites. Special foods are prepared and offerings are made at home altars. Pitru Paksha. Pitru Paksha is a 16-day Hindu lunar period dedicated to honouring and appeasing deceased ancestors, or pittas. It is celebrated in various regions with significant Hindu populations, particularly in India and Nepal. This period usually falls in the Hindu month of Bhadrapada, which aligns with September to October in the Gregorian calendar. The primary purpose of Pitru Paksha is to pay respects to one's ancestors and offer them food, water, and other offerings. It is believed that during this time, the souls of the departed ancestors come to the earthly realm to accept these offerings and blessings from their living relatives. The history of Pitru Paksha is deeply rooted in Hinduism and its beliefs regarding the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, or samsara. The concept of honouring ancestors and performing rituals for their well-being is integral to Hindu religious traditions. During Pitru Paksha, it is customary for Hindu families to perform Shadra ceremonies, including the Tarpana ritual, where offerings are made to the deceased. While it is a solemn period, it serves as a vital expression of gratitude and love for one's ancestors, ensuring their peaceful journey in the afterlife. Chum Ben. Chum Ben is a significant Cambodian Buddhist festival celebrated primarily in Cambodia, as well as in Cambodian communities around the world. The festival occurs over a 15-day period, usually in September or October, depending on the lunar calendar. The main observance day typically falls in the middle of this period. Chum Ben is a time to honour and pay respects to deceased ancestors and spirits. The festival's history is rooted in Theravada Buddhism and the belief in ancestral spirits. Buddhists believe that during Chum Ben, the gates of hell open and the spirits of deceased ancestors roam the earth. To ensure these spirits find peace, Cambodians offer food, especially sticky rice, and other offerings at pagodas and temples. This tradition has ancient roots, with historical records indicating that it dates back over 1,000 years. It was recognised as an official public holiday in Cambodia in the 1980s, and it remains an essential cultural and religious celebration in the country. Chum Ben is a time for religious observance, family reunions, and acts of charity, embodying the values of gratitude, respect for ancestors, and community bonding. Gay Jatra. Gay Jatra is a unique festival celebrated in Nepal, primarily in the Kathmandu Valley. It typically takes place in August or September, following the Nepali lunar calendar. The festival holds historical, cultural, and religious significance. Gay Jatra is a day to honour and remember deceased family members and loved ones who have passed away during the previous year. Families who have experienced such a loss participate in a procession through the streets, leading a cow or children dressed as cows, which are considered sacred animals in Hinduism. This procession, along with various other forms of artistic and cultural expression, serves as a way to remember the departed souls and help them find their way to heaven. The origins of Gay Jatra date back to the reign of King Pratap Malla in the 17th century. The king, who was grieving the death of his son, instituted the festival as a way for people to express their collective grief and to help those who were mourning. Over time, the festival has evolved and incorporated elements of satire and humour, including colourful costumes and comic performances. Dia de los Natitas. Dia de los Natitas, which translates to Day of the Skulls, is a Bolivian festival celebrated mainly in La Paz and other parts of Bolivia on November the 8th. This tradition is rooted in a blend of indigenous Andean beliefs and Catholicism. During Dia de los Natitas, devotees gather to honour and venerate human skulls, which are believed to hold spiritual significance. These skulls often belong to deceased family members and are treated with great respect. The festival includes processions, music, dance, and offerings to the Natitas, with people asking for blessings, protection, and guidance from the deceased. The history of this tradition can be traced back to pre-colonial Andean cultures that practiced skull worship. When the Spanish arrived in the region, they attempted to suppress these indigenous customs, but they persisted by merging with Catholicism. Famadiana. The
It's a lot
Famadiana
so far.
is a unique burial custom practiced by the Malagasy community in Madagascar. In this ritual, often referred to as the turning of the bones, families remove their ancestral remains from the family tombs, redress them in new fabric, and inscribe their names on the material to ensure lasting memory. Participants joyfully dance to the rhythm of live music, hoisting the wrapped remains above them, circling the grave, and later placing them back in their resting place. This tradition is a celebration of the deceased's life. During this event, families visit ancestral tombs, clean and repaint them, and bring offerings such as food, alcohol, and personal items to share with the spirits of the departed. All Souls Day. All Souls Day is a Christian holiday celebrated in various Christian majority countries worldwide, particularly within the Catholic tradition. It is observed on November the 2nd each year.
That's a mistake, because it's actually observed on the November 1st, in Poland anyway. And a lot of... they got...
The primary purpose of All Souls Day is to remember and pray for the souls of the deceased, particularly those who may still be in purgatory, seeking redemption. It is believed that the prayers and acts of charity performed during this time can help these souls find their way to heaven. The history of All Souls Day dates back to the early Christian church. It became an established holiday around the 10th century, and its origins can be traced to the medieval Christian tradition of praying for the deceased. On All Souls Day, many people attend church services, visit cemeteries, and pray for the souls of their loved ones. Graves are often decorated with flowers and candles, and offerings may be made to help the souls on their spiritual journey. Our worldwide Halloween adventure has been a treat. If this video has sparked your curiosity and you'd like to see more, like and subscribe to continue the journey with me. Your support is greatly appreciated. Yours truly, Mythos, the Historian.
I would like to say that basically the All Souls Day, or was it All Saints? It was All Souls. Zatushki. Okay, so I might be kind of mistaken on that, because All Souls Day would be the 2nd and All Saints Day would be the 1st of November. So it's not that he's mistaken, but what was he showing on there? It was kind of more in regards of how people celebrate the dead in Poland. And basically the last picture showing all the flowers and lights. Here we go. There you go. This is how pretty much every cemetery in Poland looks on leading up to the 1st of November and afterwards. All the lights, all of the candles, flowers, and all that. This is pretty much how we do it in Poland. So it's nice to kind of see that was included too. Although a lot of us that goes there and like first, like I said, the 1st of November, it's actually day off in Poland for that reason. But it's called, I think if you translate that into English, it's All Souls, and he said it is All Souls. I don't know, I'm getting confused. Anyway, is there anything that, if you're not from America and you don't celebrate Halloween, is there something that's kind of similar to it in the place where you're living? It was actually quite interesting. There's quite a lot of different festivities or different holidays that they kind of similar to Halloween all around the world, and it was nice to see something like that. Just remembering our loved ones that they left is kind of important, I think, to everyone. So, thank you very much for watching, and I see you tomorrow. Bye!